Picture this. One narrow strip of water, just 21 miles wide. And on one single morning, it closes. No oil, no gas, no ships. 20% of the entire world's oil supply gone. Just like that, oil prices shoot past $120 per barrel overnight. Stock markets collapse, countries start panicking, people queue at gas stations, and the world economy, the biggest and most powerful economy in human history, starts shaking. This is not a movie scene. This is not a simulation. This happened. February 28, 2026. And what came after it, a $29 billion American military machine unleashed, changed the Middle East forever. Today I'm breaking down the full story. Every detail, every fact, every consequence. Let's go. To understand why America went to war, you need to understand what was happening before the first missile was fired. Iran had been building its nuclear program for years, secretly, underground, telling the world it was for peaceful energy, while Western intelligence agencies had a very different picture. By early 2026, Iran was at its weakest point in decades. The Iranian rial, their currency, had collapsed to a record low. Millions of Iranians were protesting in the streets. The economy was broken, and Iran's powerful regional allies, Hezbollah, Hamas, had been heavily damaged by Israeli military operations since 2023. Israel saw an opportunity. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu had been pushing President Trump for months. Strike now, before Iran recovers. Before they build a nuclear weapon. Before it is too late. And in February 2026, Trump said yes. The IDF spokesperson confirmed that months of joint U.S. and Israeli strategic and operational deception of satellite imagery led up to the war. Planes appeared unarmed. Bases appeared empty. Commanders took their official cars home from headquarters so that satellite imagery would show no activity. Iran had no idea what was coming. It was the perfect trap. The United States and Israel launched coordinated airstrikes against Iran, codenamed Operation Epic Fury by the U.S. and Operation Roaring Lion by Israel, targeting military installations, nuclear enrichment facilities, and key officials, including Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, who was assassinated in the opening hours. The Supreme Leader of Iran, one of the most protected men on earth, killed within the first hours of the operation. 3 separate gatherings of Iranian regime officials were hit within half a minute of each other in the opening strike. Part 2, half a minute, 3 targets, all gone. Iran went into immediate shock, but Iran did not stay down. Iran retaliated almost immediately under Operation True Promise 4, extending the war's geographic footprint to 7 countries within just 48 hours: Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Iraq. Kuwait, 7 countries, 48 hours. The entire region was burning. Iranian drones shut down a 922,000 barrel per day oil refinery in Abu Dhabi. A Saudi Aramco processing plant was also struck. Kuwait, the Middle East's oil infrastructure, under attack from all sides. But Iran still had one more card to play, their most powerful weapon, and they were about to use it. On March 4th, 2026, Iran made the announcement that sent shockwaves across the entire planet. The Strait of Hormuz was closed. An Iranian IRGC official declared, "The strait is closed. If anyone tries to pass, the heroes of the Revolutionary Guards and the regular Navy will set those ships ablaze." Congress.gov set those ships ablaze. Until this point, around 25% of the world's seaborne oil trade and 20% of the world's liquefied natural gas pass through the Strait of Hormuz every single day. Around 3,000 vessels used it every month. Wikipedia. All of that stopped instantly. The IRGC boarded and attacked merchant ships and laid sea mines in the strait. Shipping companies suspended all operations immediately. Wikipedia Iranian gunboats opened fire on merchant vessels attempting to cross. At least 8 oil tankers had turned back mid-journey, Al Jazeera. The numbers that followed were catastrophic. By March 10th, 6.7 million barrels per day had been removed from global markets. By March 12th, the figure exceeded 10 million barrels per day. Brent crude surged past $120 per barrel. The International Energy Agency confirmed this was the largest oil supply disruption in the history of the global oil market, the largest in all of recorded history. Qatar Energy, one of the world's biggest LNG exporters, declared force majeure on all exports. Kuwait, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE collectively lost millions of barrels per day of production. Wikipedia, the world's energy supply and in free fall. America could not allow this to continue. On March 19, 2026, the United States launched a full aerial campaign against Iranian targets executed by the U.S. Air Force, U.S. Navy, and Israeli Air Force with one goal: reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Wikipedia, thousands of airstrikes, dozens of naval operations. President Trump had previously said only Iran's unconditional surrender would be acceptable and had set multiple deadlines for a deal: March 21st, then March 23rd, then April 7th. House of Commons Library. None of those deadlines produced peace, so America kept striking. The U.S. then announced a full counter-blockade on all ships seeking to use Iranian ports, creating a dual blockade situation where both sides were cutting off each other's trade routes simultaneously. House of Commons Library, Iran blocking the Strait.